Howdy folks, welcome back. And today with me I got Mr. Leland Butler. Well, he is a real special character, and we're going to talk to Leland particularly about that real cool Cushman Highlander that he has donated to the museum with firm instructions that we teach people to ride it. So Leland, welcome.
Thank you, man. I'm glad to be here. This is interesting.
Yep, today we are going down to the museum. This is the first time Leland has been there. So we're going to go take a walk around and check it all out. So tell me, where'd you get that Cushman anyway?
I bought it in parts and I put it together. I bought two Cushmans and made one out of it. And I kept it for the longest time. I had it powder coated and I had everything going good. And I rode it one or two times and I don't even remember why I quit riding it. And I kept it for years and years and years. I wasn't going to let it go because I'm a borderline hoarder, I guess. When I get something I think is neat, I'm going to keep it. But I decided to try to fix it up and ride it. But I was too big to use the brake, and so I fell off of it a couple of times.
Oh, it was just once. It was just once.
Well, you know, there was another time there that I'm counting as a fall off. But anyway, and I donated it to the museum, and well, this guy got it running, and I had it for years, and I couldn't get it running, and he got it running in 5 hours. It was unbelievable. He had to take it all apart. And I always did enjoy motorcycles and motor scooters when I was a kid. I had a Highland Cushman, a Cushman Eagle.
That was a real one. That was a two-speed,
yeah,
and
two-speed.
Electric start and stuff, wasn't it?
I don't think it had electric start, but I don't remember.
Well, I got a special surprise for you, and when we get to the museum.
I saw in the pictures, I saw the Eagle.
No, not the Eagle. It's a Simplex in the back there, which was made in New Orleans, I believe, right?
I don't know if it was, but I know all about the
Louisiana.
Simplex.
Yeah, there's a little Simplex.
Simplex had a belt drive, and it was unusual, and a friend of mine had one. His dad had more money than my dad, so he had a Simplex. And he would race me on my, I had a Highlander, and we would race. And so what happened is it turned out that my clutch was bad. And so my dad fixed the clutch on it, and then I could beat him. And he said, he got mad, and he said, "What did you do?" I said, "Well, my dad has this fluid, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, and I poured it on the clutch, and now I can beat you every time." He was one of my best friends, and I shined him on about that for a long time.
No, so you had the Highlander way back then? Is this the same Highlander? Or
no. This was another Highlander. Okay. I don't even remember what happened to that. What happened is I joined the service, and I had a younger brother, and so when I got back, everything was gone, and even my dog was dead. So, that's. But I had a 409, and that was gone. So, but that was all right. That was all right.
So you were in the service as Vietnam, right?
Yeah, I was in the Marine Corps and I went to Vietnam, but I was only there for about 6 months, which was like twice as long as I wanted to be there. Actually, twice as long as I wanted to be there was probably like a week. But I got
fun. Yeah, I can't imagine what.
I got over real good. I mean, I was a comm nav technician. And I worked on A4s, and I was at Chulai, which is I think about 55 miles south of Da Nang, and compared to those guys that used to go out in the field and everything,
right?
We didn't go
with a rifle on their back.
Yeah, we didn't go out very much. We'd go in town and do. I can't even think of the name of the program they had it, but we'd go out and work on an orphanage. And we'd take all the rocket boxes that the rockets came in, and we'd tear them apart and clean the nails out of them and give them to the orphanage and give them to people in town, and they could build stuff. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, wow. No, the A4s, so that was land-based planes, right? Did they fly the A4s?
They flew off of carriers too. And and it was a little attack plane. It was like a Corvette. It was like a fancy sports car that would go pretty fast, and it was real nimble, and it was a great ground attack aircraft. That's what it was. It was an attack aircraft.
What would you do? How'd you work on them? Were you just mechanic, electrical?
No, I worked on the comm nav, and well, we did everything when we were over in Vietnam. We helped load the bombs and all that kind of stuff. Helped the ordnance men, and we all kind of worked outside of our specialty, but I fixed the radios and stuff like that.
Yep. And that's so. Did you have any other bikes in your youth, or was it just that Cushman Highlander?
I had a Cushman Eagle.
Yeah, you had a Cushman Eagle.
Yes,
Okay.
I had a Cushman Eagle, and that's all I can remember. But I always liked scooters and motorcycles. My daddy let me go to the bank and borrow $400, and he co-signed for me. I don't even know how old I was. I was probably 14. And I bought that Cushman for $419.
That was big money back in that day.
That was big money.
So that was what, the 50s maybe?
It was 50s. It had to be.
Yeah. Wow.
That was a fun bike too. That was a little scooter, it was really fun. You got to shift it and everything.
Yeah.
And I got to fall off of it a couple of times too.
Hey, no scars, no proof, right?
Yeah, well,
they say the chicks dig the scars, so.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
So what, when you came back from the service, did you go to school, or did you go into a trade?
I ended up going in the trade. I ended up being an electrician. But I opened up a service station. I ran it for about 2 years until I run out of my money and my wife's money and my uncle's money and everything. I was not a successful businessman. But then I got into the electrical union, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I was good at it because I had electronics. I went to Navy schools in electronics.
Right.
And so just switching over to electrical, the most stuff I had to learn was how to run conduit and do the bull gang work, because I knew how to do all the electronic work.
Right.
So I did good, and I really liked it. Construction guys are fun to be around.
Now that was mostly in what, in New Orleans, or?
No, it was mostly around Baton Rouge, but then when work got bad, I traveled all over the country. I was in the IBEW, which stands for International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers.
Mm-hmm.
But when work got bad, we called it I've been everywhere. IBEW, I've been everywhere. So I worked in New York and New Jersey and out in California and Memphis and in South Texas, and I don't even remember where all. I think I worked in Wisconsin. I can't remember the name of the state.
So how did you end up in Austin?
I ended up in Austin because my son moved here, and then he got married, and he told us, he says, Dad, if you and Mom want me to visit you in the nursing home, you're gonna have to move closer. So we did.
Now he's a musician too, right?
He's a musician, yeah, but he's a computer guy.
Yeah.
Musicians. I asked him, he's such a good guitar player. I says, son, I don't know, see how you can't make money at that. He says, in Austin, Texas, guitar players cost $0.10 an hour. They just got so many people around that can play well.
Right.
And
right.
So it's not a really easy thing to make money at. He still plays. He still's got a band and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so. You gotta love it. And there's a few maybe at the top that do make it a career and can get paid for it, but or paid enough for it. It's kind of like being in the motorcycle business too, right? It's kind of a passion and a labor of love. It better be a labor of love, because
well, he loved it, and he ended up he had a little bitty phony guitar almost. It was my brother-in-law bought it in Mexico, and I knew enough how to tune one. So he was a little bitty kid, young kid. He started playing when he was like playing with guitars and stuff when he was about 5 or 6 years old. So he's been playing guitar all his life.
Oh, very cool.
And I
very
got to
cool.
brag, man. I really like to hear him play. And I think he's just a wonderful guitar player. And I think he's a wonderful kid. In other words, he didn't kind of like take after his dad.
Oh, that's not true.
Well, yeah, I am a wonderful kid.
Dude,
But I can't wait to grow
I
up.
tell you, if there's anybody I know who's going to heaven, it's this guy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got you tricked.
Yeah, he's one of the best guys ever. So
Well,
yeah,
thank you a lot.
No,
I
your
appreciate that.
son has that car of yours, right? What's that? It's
a '72 Cutlass convertible.
Okay. Well, tell me the story on that one.
Well, he was looking for a neat car, and my wife found that car in a newspaper.
Yeah, when was that? How long ago?
Man, I don't even know, but it was a long time ago. My son, I think he was still in school, college, and he found that car, and my wife bought it for him, and she loaned him the money.
Uh-huh.
And I said, well, we'll never see that. But he paid her back. And I said, well, he's officially a grown man. Paid his mama back.
Well, you paid your papa back on that Cushman, didn't you?
Yeah, I paid the bank.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah.
Otherwise, you would have been hung out for it if you didn't.
Yeah, probably so. That's so long ago. I remember going to the bank, and I don't think I was even driving a car at that time. And I signed that loan and everything, $419. Oh my God, how am I going to pay for that?
So, were you working like a paper route or milk or something?
I had a paper route, and I also worked for my dad. He was a contractor. I'd go around to the houses they were building and clean up all the scrap and sweep out all the
nails
and sawdust and stuff so they could keep the place clean and go on with their work.
Yeah. I've done some building, and I tell you, with the that makes a huge difference. You have a clean work site.
Yeah.
It makes everybody work better, man. It's all subconscious. Because otherwise you're just watching other stuff and not paying attention to what you're doing.
Yeah, you trip over
stand
everything.
on a nail or trip over a 2x4 or something. Yep. If the work site's nice and clean. I try to do that when I'm working on bikes now too.
Yeah, I noticed that. I
keep all my tools lined up. I keep everything in its place. Maybe it's because I'm not remembering where I put stuff back, and nothing worse than spending 15 minutes looking for the damn tool that's not in its right place.
Yeah. Well, you got a real nice garage there. I'm impressed by that thing.
Thank you. I enjoy that's. That's one of the things I love is making stuff run. I'll show you that poster I got on the wall in the garage, and it's got this little kid.
You gave me a picture of that. You gave me a picture of that and framed it, and it's hanging. I don't know where it's hanging in my guitar room.
Oh yeah, that's me all the way around, man. How I feel when I fix something.
This picture shows a little kid. I'll describe it if I can. It shows a little kid. He must be 7 years old.
Maybe even younger than that.
Maybe younger than that. But he's all dirty with grease all over him. He's standing there with his arms out, and the caption on the picture says, "This is how I feel when I fix something."
Yeah, that is a good one. All right. Well, thank you very much for all that insight. We'll keep talking here in a little bit, but yay for Leland Butler. So
well, let's do this again, and I'll try to make up some better lies.
Oh no, tell a joke. You got a joke for us. Come on, tell us a joke.
Oh, you know what? I'm completely blank on jokes.
I'll
tell you what, I can tell you a dog joke.
Okay, tell me a dog joke.
Dog joke. God made dogs to make up for some of the people we have to deal with.
No, I had a dog joke for you. What does a dyslexic, insomniac, agnostic do?
Well, I don't know. I'm not one, so I got no idea.
Stay up all night wondering if there is a dog. You got to think hard on that.
No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Wondering if there's a dog.
Agnostic insomniac.
Yeah. I hope I can remember that one.
All right. Well, thank you, Leland.
Well, thank you. This has been interesting. I hope it never sees the light of day.
All right. Check it out.